Guys, welcome to our video. I hope you're enjoying. I hope you're not.
That's what I do. I'm like, I hope you're enjoying the video, but you didn't even start watching it. You're not enjoying anything.
Do you wanna intro us?
No, please intro your intro.
Hello and welcome to our video. We hope that you enjoy it going forward.
What are we doing today? Give them a little summary of what we're talking about.
Okay, so nothing super complicated. Jenny's been here. We've been doing some photography in the home studio, and basically we're dealing with want to try to create some images that deal with like mental health stuff. That's what we want to deal with. It's May. It's Mental Health Month. Mental Health
I didn't even realize that
month.
my birthday month is Crazy Month. Oh! Don't say people are crazy yet. Evan and I have been talking for a while about how we want to talk more about mental illness, and this is Mental Illness Awareness Month because it's May.
May.
I was also born in May.
I was not. I was born in December.
Yay! So definitely we wanted to talk about...
I don't think my month has anything. Well, maybe Christmas.
What is it?
I got Christmas.
Okay, so it's May. It's Mental Illness Awareness Month, and I don't think that people talk enough about mental illness, and I think it's still, even though it's been talked about more now, I think that it's still very misunderstood by a lot of people, and I want to kind of break that boundary where...
Yeah, break down some stigma. We're going to talk a little bit about it. If you guys follow my work, then you know that I deal with this stuff a lot in my art.
Which is why I reached out to him to do this shoot. So we're going to talk about the pictures that we just took and why we took them and the kind of idea that was behind them.
I like it. So let's do this one first. I got the little iPad. I don't know if you guys are familiar with f-stoppers, but I'm just totally ripping them off right now. But this is the first one. But let's talk about it.
So, okay, so I've been modeling for 5 years, and I do boudoir and glamour and fashion and everything, even cosplay, everything that's like fun, high-end, super, very pretty and all that stuff. So when I reached out to Evan, seeing his work grow and seeing all the work that he does with anxiety, depression, just showing emotion in one picture, I reached out to him purposely to try to do this because I wanted to show there's more than one side to even someone who constantly is trying to be like pretty limelight kind of look.
Open it over there.
Yeah,
people have like a lot of depth to them, and what I think is easy for people to overlook is they see someone like you who is like definitely more like in the public eye, and a lot of the work you put out is, like you said, is along those lines of like beauty photography,
yeah.
Right? It's very pretty stuff, and like
which is not bad, but then people very quickly assume that that's the only side of me because that's what I do, but that's not true to anyone. There's lots of layers, and it's true. Everybody has their things that they don't show you right from the first time you meet them and the first time you see them. So it's important not to judge people right away. And especially with mental illness, why can't I say that? Mental illness.
I don't know why it's tough.
It is tough. It's a tricky thing to say. I think people immediately hear it, and whatever it is, whatever kind of disorder it is, they immediately hear it and associate it with something either negative or I can't talk to this person or I feel awkward around this person, when really there's so many layers that you haven't seen yet. And that's what you need to pull out is the best in you need to find the layers and dig deeper a little.
Yeah, there's a lot more to people than just what you get on first impression, right? Like, There's so much more to me and there's so much more to you, like all of us. But I want to talk a little bit let's talk about this photo specifically. We have 3 photos we want to talk about today. We're going to try not to make this video run on too long.
Yeah. But we're both probably not very good at summarizing, so be patient!
Not at all. So what does this mean? What does it mean to you? What do you feel like this is expressing?
So when I first saw this picture, we took a bunch trying different emotions, and the reason we chose this shot is because there's this. I'm bipolar. Throw that out there. I'm bipolar. I was diagnosed at 17. There's way more that goes into that story, but when we're talking about the picture, what we did this for this mental illness, and the way that I see it is there are very manic, very depressed, very anxious parts of it that people don't know about. So it's a lot of energy. Mania is a constant energy. So you see this energy of me screaming kind of for understanding from other people, but you never get it. And then there's another side of me that's always right in the picture. There's a face that's smiling. It's
like peaceful. It's serene.
Right. It's very peaceful, and you get the feeling almost like everything's fine, and it's a face I have to constantly put on for people to show that everything's okay. And while there are a lot of times where it's genuine, I am fine, everything's great, if someone hears you're bipolar, they instantly put you back in that crazy place. And so this picture kind of shows both sides of that.
Yeah, I mean, Jenny I'm not diagnosed with bipolar. And when you were talking to me about this and sort of trying to get, because I can only understand so much, right? Obviously, like I have an outside perspective, and I can only interpret, right? And that's one of the things I do love about photography, is to try to interpret some of, like someone else, some aspect like of your life here, right? So again, the mental illness stuff is near and dear to my heart for a number of reasons, and this is kind of specific to you though. But what I like about this image, and one of the cool things about this, is that like from a technical standpoint, we captured this is just one frame. There's no compositing going on here or anything like that. I really like the display of almost like the energy of the motion, because I think that was like something that that sort of strikes me as almost like a theme here. And I like that idea as you expressed it to me, but it also deals with, as you said, and like through the faces, like it to my mind expresses the duality of like, a concept that I've been touching on lately is like sort of like the face we put out to the world, and also like like what's inside, right? So I think that's what that image is about to my mind, or what we try to express with it.
Yeah, and I think that this is fun photography to do because everybody sees that picture in a different way. So if you're having a good day and you see that picture, you will gravitate to the peaceful face and say like, oh, that's so pretty, but that's still so much energy that goes behind it, because everybody knows what it's like to have to put on a good face when you're having a bad day.
Yeah,
so if they see it and they're in a good mood, they'll pull one thing out of it, but if they're in a bad mood, they'll pull even more out of it. So the cool thing about his work, and just there's so many pictures that show all different kinds of emotions that deal with anxiety, depression, mental illness, and that's really why I reached out to him, because I think that everybody can see the picture and pull something that they feel out of it. So I'm hoping that you don't have to be bipolar to understand what we're trying to say, is what I mean.
Yeah, well, because I think a lot of mental illness stuff is, like a lot of these things are like normal aspects of people that have been
just dramatized, when really it's just by people who don't understand it, or usually people are afraid of what they don't understand. Yeah. That's where fear comes from, is that people are fearing death because they don't know what's after it. So it's like when you meet someone and you fear certain things, it's most likely because you don't really understand it. Now that I know so much about mental illness, because I've been through it, I've seen a lot of people go through it, it's a little easier for me to have empathy towards others who have the same problem. But I want to bring that empathy to everybody, so that's kind of what the purpose of this is.
Ready, want to go to the next photo?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we got here. This is again like, like from a thematic standpoint, is it necessary for me to say that word so pretentiously? I think not.
I think not.
From a thematic standpoint, we sort of, obviously, like this is a set, right? Like that's sort of what we're dealing with, is like a similar aesthetic, a similar look. Again, from a technical standpoint. So here again, we sort of are playing with the idea, like of the duality of like the different extremes of emotion.
Yep.
I think that's something that comes up here. What are your thoughts?
And this one, it's not as extreme as the other one, where it's like extreme. It's more like just, this to me represents like
it's definitely like less energy in this one.
There's definitely less. It's more me just like very peacefully sad and then peacefully smile on the other side, and it's like it doesn't always have to be so extreme to show the two sides of a coin.
Yeah, this is definitely like a different vibe in that way, to show that, like you said, it's not all about, because like, right, there's there's different aspects, and like different aspects of like what's going on with us are important at one time or another. Like, so maybe sometimes, it's about that manic, frenetic energy. And
sometimes it's just one or the other feeling. And I think a lot of people with bipolar assume that it's super happy, super sad. And while that can be a thing, that can also you could be you could be anybody with no technical mental illness, and you can be really sad and really happy. So this just shows that it's not always that level. There's just parts of us that sometimes we don't want to communicate and show, and then sometimes we have to put a smile on, and sometimes we're genuinely just smiling, but just to be aware that there are both sides.
Shall we do the next?
Yes. So this is Mania in a picture, and Mania is really hard for me to explain, but I'm going to go into more detail on my YouTube channel about bipolar, so keep in touch and with his photos and my work, because
stay tuned,
because there's going to be more detail on what this actually is, what mania actually is. Most people don't know that bipolar disorder has a lot of levels. So to give a quick introduction to it, there's bipolar 1 and 2. I'm 1. So 1 is the original, where you suffer from the lows and the highs. Like mania is up here when you're super energetic and you're almost going too fast for your brain to keep up. So you kind of ruin yourself without realizing it. And then there's bipolar 2, which is more suffering from specifically anxiety and depression, and you're kind of just low. And I suffer both ends. But when the mania happened is when I actually had to be taken care of and started to get medicine because I could no longer control my emotions that way. Though it could be seen by anyone as, just if you are having a super chaotic week and you're so busy and you're trying to keep a smile on, especially in an industry like we do where you always have to put a good face on, even if you're not super happy or you're not having a good day to put that face on.
Oh, yeah.
You can see that in the photo, but for me, what it definitely means was that crazy smile that you see is definitely, it definitely describes how other people saw me when I was manic and how a part of me felt on the inside, even though some of it wasn't even aware.
So, yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about the photos that we created. We're not, I don't know what time it is. I can't actually read this watch that's on my wrist.
That's super pointless.
So we still have a couple hours of daylight. We have a couple of other ideas that we wanted to explore, but kind of part of our plan for the day was to start here to do this. I feel like we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish, at least in that regard.
Yes.
And then talk about it a little bit as far as video, and this little whole setup thing that we got going on. So, I mean, I don't know about the internet a ton, but you could probably comment on this somewhere.
So if it's going to be on my YouTube, you can subscribe or like or comment or, join the thing. I'm Jenny B Official, and this is...
I don't even know if I have a YouTube channel. I mean, I have...
Your Instagram.
Oh, my Instagram, evolution.images.
Mine's Jenny B Official, like B, the buzz B. Everything else you should be able to smell. Jenny has a Y, not an IE. Don't make things difficult. My name's Jenny.
Don't make it harder than it needs to be.
Don't call me Jenna.
I learned that the hard way.
Yeah. Nah, that's not my name.
All right, guys, thank you for watching our video. I hope you enjoyed it.
And more to come from both of us. Have a great day. Thank you so much for watching.
Is this cool?
No. Team effort! With this video. Oh man, I can't talk like that. Scrap that.
Cut! Cut! So it's May.
It's mental awareness month.
Mental health.
Fuck.
Is it mental illness? Well.
You could be a janitor and also love to play the piano.
Nobody plays banana. Not an instrument. I like that you threw it out there though.